What's up, my derps? It's your boy Gregolis, and on today's episode of Cast Guidance, we're going to talk about how to be a better teammate. All right, go ahead and add a D4 to your ability check, and let's get better at D&D together. Before we begin, don't forget, roll to hit that subscribe button and add an extra attack to the notification bell so you don't miss any awesome content. For those of you that have played team sports, you'll recognize how important it is to play with the group and that you're only as strong as your weakest link. For those of you who haven't, let's talk about it. Here's 5 ways to be a better teammate. Tip 1, communication. It doesn't get more obvious than this. Communication is the key factor in any endeavor in life, whether it be at work, in the home, or at your table. Being able to clearly and effectively communicate your needs and give concise directions is an important part of being a part of a team. In-game, use your role-playing moments to communicate what your player is going to do. Minimize your metagaming and be clear when articulating your directions. If you're not sure if you can do something or how it might work out, approach the DM, questioning or asking if it would be possible to do whatever you're thinking of. Sometimes simply explaining, here's what I want to have happen, how do you think we can get there, can be super effective as well. Great communication also works outside of the game. Being able to relay your thoughts and ideas to your team offline helps encourage growth, bonding, and total team play. Being respectful, thoughtful, and open to interactions allows your teammates to know you're invested and engaged. Mama always said that you could tell anybody anything if you did it with a smile. It's important to remember how you're speaking and what effect that may have on the rest of the group, just like it's important to factor in what others want to achieve. And that's why it's tip number 2. Tip 2, space and support. The best part of you watching this video right now means that you're attempting to be a part of a team dynamic. Instantly, that tells me you're interested in improving your relationship with those at your table. One of the biggest factors in team dynamics is being able to empathize and understand the goals of those around you, and then encourage and support them. Being a team player means putting aside your ego to allow room for other egos. It's all about balance and harmony, finding a rhythm within your group. Sometimes it takes a few sessions to figure that out, and sometimes it takes year-long campaigns. Whatever the length of time, it's always important to give each other the spotlight. If you find you tend to take the lead and not let others speak or get a word in edgewise, then consider backing down a bit. It doesn't make you a weak person to let others take the lead. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Encouraging growth in those around you is what a true leader does, and vice versa. If you find yourself never speaking up or being as involved as you'd like, start taking the reins and driving your own narrative a little more. Balance is the name of the game. And tip 3, balance. If you find you're the member in the team who needs the support or openness at the table, then communicate, like we talked about in tip 1. Express your needs or desires and push through your insecurities to get what you want out of the game as a whole. The more you do, the easier it becomes, and then find and maintain that balance. Find that sweet spot. The only way to figure that out is by participating within the team, and all participation grows experience and group bonds. Now, if you tend to take the leadership role within the team, remember it's your job to support everyone. And let's discuss that in tip 4. Tip 4, leadership. Within all team structures, there's always a leader, or two. Being a better teammate means recognizing the role you're in and working within it. If you're taking on the leadership role, it doesn't mean that you're a dictator telling everyone what to do and how to do it, but rather it's more about guiding the group, being the final decision maker, but also being open to the conversation from everyone when it comes to making decisions. In my experience, most groups tend to naturally pick one person as their leader. For us at the D&D show, it's Barack, as played by @TyWilsonCrits. He is our de facto leader, but he does a great job of encouraging all of our characters to have a voice. This isn't a single person's story, and he supports us all by actively questioning and involving us throughout the campaign. If you're taking a leadership role, it's your job to recognize if some of your teammates are being overtalked or disengaged. Then it's your job to support them and bring them back into the fold, like a good shepherd. Sometimes you can encourage them by role-playing directly with them, or sometimes you speak to them offline. There's lots of options, and that makes for strong leadership and creates an engaged and balanced group dynamic. Another way to be a better teammate is to know or investigate each other's backstories and character objectives. Let's chat about that in tip 5. Tip 5, backgrounds and goals. One of the more direct and practical tips here is to know the other PC's backgrounds or overall goals. I know some of you are throwing your hands up right now saying that those are private and we shouldn't share those details with each other, and I hear that, but I have 2 things to say to it. Firstly, when I say know each other's backgrounds, it doesn't necessarily mean read each other's backstories, but it means taking time to investigate and roleplay with all of the characters at your table. Ask them questions about who they are, why they're here, what they want to get out of the adventure you're all on, etc., etc. Doing all of this in-game is by far one of the best team bonding exercises you can do, and I highly encourage everyone to ask one of the other players questions every single game. The best time for that is often during downtime or right before a long rest. Get to know the group you're playing with, and that's what makes you a team. Secondly, I also don't think it's a bad idea to read each other's backstories. Hot take. Certainly, a lot of backstories in Dungeons & Dragons have hidden agendas and secrets they don't want everyone to know, but to each their own. I enjoy creative writing, so for me, one of my favorite things to do is write up a long-winded tale about my character before diving into a long campaign. This helps me outline who my character is, get me into their mindset, and I define their goals. It should do the same for others as well, and I'm quite able to compartmentalize what I as a person know and what my character knows. But the value in knowing someone else's backstory is that if I see something happen in the world that may be relatable to something I remember from their story, or something they told me in game, I can use that to capitalize on that moment through roleplay, and we encourage this moment of growth for their character. For example, Wawatesi happens to be from the Sarissa Thicket, and I know this because it's been discussed both in and out of the game. Great. Now let's say we're wandering through some town, and a merchant happened to be selling some teas, and upon investigating, Griorn finds out the tea is named Sarissa Leaves Tea. Whoa, now I have an opportunity to possibly buy some as a gift for Wawatesi, or let her know about the tea and ask her if she's heard of it. Who knows what kind of moment that's going to encourage, but either way, we've bonded, even if I know she'd prefer berry juice. That's wine for those that don't follow the show. So there you have a few overarching tips on how to improve your connection with those at your table. Let's quickly recap the top 5 tips on how to be a better teammate. Communication, the most obvious of all the tips. Space and support. Encourage those around you to engage and give them room to do so. Balance. Push when you need to push and vice versa. Leadership. Whether in charge or not, being democratic creates harmony. Background and goals. Knowing's half the battle. Keep coming at me with your ideas on how to be better at the table. This is something we're going to grow together. Feel free to message me directly at Gregolis Designs on all platforms, or leave a comment below and I'll do my best to respond. As always, don't forget, D&D isn't a game you win. Let's cast guidance on each of our tables to enhance each other's experiences. Thanks, Derps. See you next week with more from me, your boy Gregolis. Hey Derps, thanks for watching. We're trying really hard to build this channel up, so if you could give us a subscribe, that would be really helpful and appreciated. This community matters to us, and we want to hear your voice. Let us know what you liked or didn't like, and let's chat in the comments. Also, don't forget to check me out playing D&D on the D&D show every other Sunday. The link should be somewhere over here, or here, or here. Thanks!